Beth Sanzenbacher of the Field Museum in Chicago and computer programmer and designer Mark Dinan of New Medion in Pasadena talk about the importance of authenticity when designing scientific learning experiences for children. In this case, the two collaborated to create Y-Reef, a coral reef in the virtual world Yville that engages middle school students in the biodiversity of coral reefs.
You have scientists, who, this is what they do, so they know a lot about it. And I guess with biologists, probably more than, well, like math too, it's like we're very picky about the details. And I guess that might be hard for other people to think about biology in that amount of detail, because you just think, oh, you know it, but I don't know if people are aware of the amount of detail that biologists go to when studying their organism.
Yeah, well, for instance, we were amazed at how many times we had to redraw the white-tipped reef star to get those tips white enough, right?
I know. I felt so bad about that, but I couldn't let it go. I just looked at it, and I'm like, that's just wrong.
Yep. We had to keep going back to the artist. They want it a little whiter. They want it a little whiter. They want it a little whiter. So.
And you guys are probably like, God,
exactly.
Knock it off.
Exactly.
Like, oh, my God. But, that degree of white is just a differentiation for us between another species,
Yeah.
And so that's very glaring for us, but I work with normal people enough that I know other people are just like, really,
Yeah.
But yes, really.
Yeah. Well, the issue for us is, do the kids? Will the kids care how white that tip is? And and I'm not sure, but clearly it was important to you, so we made them super white.
Yeah, and I think that's a question we were asking ourselves as well, is especially between our scientist group and our educator group, so we really had two groups on this side working together, with how exact do we need to be. And the educators weren't sure. They were happy, to go along with it. The scientists are always like, no, you need to be really exact. And I kind of go back and forth on that question, in that, well, you have the knowledge here, so why not use it?
Yep.
Why not make it really accurate? And then it's very trustworthy, and, teachers know they can use it. And I think kids kind of soak up a lot subconsciously that they're not aware of, because kids will pick up things in movies all the time.
Good point.
And then they see it in reality, and they wonder why it's different. And then you have to explain it to them. And they're like, oh. And so I don't know, how much subconsciously they're going to pick things up. I know in our surveys we've kind of snuck in some questions to try to assess that. But, I think they might. I think they might pick things up. I know from my personal experience teaching, kids have a very hard time, especially younger age kids, separating virtual reality in movies from actual reality. So when they see something in a game or on TV, they think that's it. That's the way it is.
Okay.
So I think there's value into it. I don't know. There's probably some studies that need to be done on that too.
No, indeed. This is absolutely an area of research, right? Especially online education is definitely in its infancy. So we're at the edge of that.
Well, yes, that's very true. And I think, parents will appreciate it, when you can say this is actually accurate and based on research. So.
Well, I don't think we can make those tips any whiter than we did.
Yeah.